get some cushion, I need 5 seats out of Texas. Texas is one of my biggest red states. They can do redistricting now. Who cares about the Constitution? Who cares about the rules? I'm above the law. I'm a king. I'm a dictator. I'm an authoritarian. So Governor Abbott, I need 5 seats. Well, Governor Abbott has the ability to call a special session because we're not in the legislature. He took this crisis that we had in Kerr County where we lost over 130 people from a devastating flood. And so Governor Abbott took the liberty to call a special session to talk about the devastating floods, but more, it seems like a priority to him, was the congressional redistricting and all of the standard things that you do to have hearings, to get community input and engagement.
Right.
They had 3 sham field hearings there was no maps. So people were testifying to a theory, not any maps. So they had to testify in Houston, in Arlington, which is outside of Dallas, and Austin, based on a notion of congressional redistricting. And hundreds of people, thousands of people showed up, but there was no map. Once the map came out, you all, then they held one hearing in Austin at the Capitol, and they limited the testimony for people to give. Thousands of people showed up to testify against the maps once they finally came out. Only a handful of people actually testified in favor. So based on the stats and the runs, these aren't my numbers, I'm no statistician, but over 95% of the people that testified were testifying against proposed racial gerrymandered maps. Yet and still that, the committee overwhelmingly voted in favor of it on a straight party line vote. Republicans make up the majority. They voted yes. Democrats voted no. Then they rushed it through the calendars committee to get it on the floor. That is when we said, you know what? We're not going to participate in this racial gerrymander, this scheme to decimate our black and brown communities in Texas. We are a form and an act of good trouble, and to defy them the numbers that they need to ram this bill down to deliver these 5 seats that would hack and crack black communities and Hispanic communities that make up the majority of the citizens in Texas, where we should be expanding African American and Latino representation by 50%. They reduced it by 50%. So that is the state of play. So basically, we said we will not allow you to do that. And then what we wanted to focus on as legislators is raising the alarm bell to California, to New York, to Maryland, to New Mexico, and other blue states and say, look, you see what they're doing to us? Y'all next. Y'all are going to be next unless you respond to this bully, to this dictator, and fight back. And that is what we've been doing. And thank you for allowing us to use your platform, because we don't have a bully pulpit like President Trump does. But we have been able to take this message to the nation and wake people up about the importance of elections, because these elections aren't happening at the federal level. These redrawn maps are happening in the state legislatures with state representatives and state senators and governors. And so it's important that people vote down ballot in local elections, because that determines federal representation as well as state representation. So we've educated people about redistricting, gerrymandering, and why they need to vote and speak truth to power and hold the president accountable for these actions that he's having. And he's targeting black and brown communities. He doesn't care about us and our communities having representation. He is taking us back to pre-1965 voting rights days. And we know we have overcome too much to turn back the clock now on our watch, and that is why we're standing and fighting away from our home state, but in the fight against this racial gerrymandering.
Thank you so much. And we're going to... Yes, go ahead, Daryl.
I mean, we certainly appreciate, you, Representative Reynolds, holding down the front line in this fight, because as you've indicated, it is the front line for the fight for across the nation. This isn't about just fighting to free D.C. are fighting to free Texas. This is fighting to free democracy. I mean, that's
correct.
Is the fight that you're in front of.
Yes.
One of the questions I wanted. Go ahead,
and Daryl, I believe I heard that Representative Jones is on. Is that correct?
All right.
Representative Jones, are you there? Okay. Let me just test everything. Former Senator Dianne Wilkerson, are you there?
I'm here, Barbara and Daryl. Hello.
Great. Thank you. I saw that you had written that you were here. Also, Dr. Elsie Scott, are you there?
We're about to get off. We're about to get off the bus, so I've got to speak.
Oh, that's Representative Jones' voice.
We're about to get off the bus.
That's Representative Jolanda Jones.
We're about to leave. Yes, we're about to leave. So if I'm going to say something, I need to say it now, because otherwise I've got to.
We're ready for you, Representative Jones. We just called on you. We're ready for you. Go ahead.
Did you have a question?
Yes, please tell our audience why you are in. Why you have fled the state of Texas, and what you hope people will do to support your efforts to uphold our democracy. We just want you to know that we've already said you're our hero, our shero. We're so glad that you are doing what you're doing. We're grateful for you. So if you could just give a 1-minute shout out or whatever time you have to our audience.
So let me be clear. We didn't flee nothing. I ain't scared and we ain't scared. So I really need that narrative to change. We literally went to get reinforcements is what we did. And we also played a protected parliamentary tactic, which is the quorum break. There are 88 of them and there are 62 of us. In no world does 62 beat 88, except that before they can conduct any business, they have to have 100 of us there. And they don't have 100 of us there. So we are pulling a gangster move, and we have stopped them, and they are whining like little babies because they can't force us to be complicit in their oppression of black and brown people. Let me be clear. This is a racist gerrymandering. And I'm not playing, and I'm not stupid, and I'm not going to help them oppress black folks. We just had the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, and there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to help them undo our rights. Now, let's be clear. In North Carolina last year, this exact same thing happened, and they stole 3 seats. They're like thieves in the night, just like Trump is. Actually, he a thief in a day. So they stole 3 votes, and there's a reason why President Trump has a 3 Republican majority in Congress, because they did stuff on the cover of dark and nobody paid attention. So guess what? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We ain't stupid by a long shot. So we are actually shining a light on what they did. He got away with it in North Carolina. That's why he's trying to come to Texas. Except for we're not about to sit here and we're not about to bend over for him like the governor does and like the Republicans in Texas do. And let me be clear. I remember reading in the history books that they're trying to wipe out right now how it was before we had voting rights, how we had to pay poll taxes, how we had to guess how many deans were in something, and how we got hosed and how we got assassinated. I'm not going back there. And so I ain't got nothing better to do than be a quorum breaker. And they're just mad because we have out-dunked them. And he can call as many special sessions as he wants. He called 4 special sessions last legislative session, and we will stay gone then too. Because you can't beat your chest if we're not there. So going on. And one thing that we've done, and I heard Rep. Reynolds say, is we shone a light on what's done in the dark, because that's how you disinfect the best. And so now California said, come on, Texas, if you do what you do in Texas, we're going to wipe out what you do. And we have other Democratic governors who are saying the same thing. So if they want to play chicken, they better not blink, because when this is all said and done, we're going to win. And this is our Edmund Pettus moment, our Montgomery bus boycott moment. And to anybody who says, what takes you so long? I mean, how long are you willing to stay there? The Montgomery bus boycott lasted over a year, okay? I ain't got nothing better to do. My mother, who I'm her caregiver, and my granddaughter, I will continue to talk to them over FaceTime, because right now I need to be defending Texas and black folks and brown folks, and I need to be defending America. And my name is Jolanda Jones, state representative from Houston, Texas, and I approve this message.
All right, now, that's the message.
Thank you so much, Representative Jones. This is Daryl Jones, your little cousin, but I've already claimed you. But one of the things that we wanted to ask, and thank you for being with us again, one of the things we wanted to ask, we have people around the country that are listening to the show, and they're listening to you, they're listening to Rep. Reynolds. They're like, how can I get involved? What can I do to help? How can we help you, Representative Jones?
The first thing you can do is you can give to the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, because it costs money out here. We make $600 whole dollars a month. $600 of that $600, part of it goes to pay our pension, and the other part goes to pay our health insurance. And I also take out dues, because I'm a member of the Texas State Employees Union, because I believe in strong unions with dues-paying members. So we don't make money; we sacrifice to serve, and people don't understand that. And now they've cut our budgets by 30%, which may cause us not be able to make payroll, even though my district office is literally open, serving the constituents of House District 147. So they think that they're going to starve us, and they're not. We need us to do like we did during the Civil Rights Movement, during the Underground Railroad, where our family embraces us. Y'all help us. Y'all let us stay with y'all. Y'all feed us. Y'all give us money to eat while we are doing this, because this is not easy work, but it's work that has to be done. And so contribute to the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. Interestingly, I happen to be running for one of the congressional districts that's targeted for Congressional District 18. I'd love to be able to take this fight to Congress, and where I'd fight with Congresswoman Crockett and every other Democrat who wants to stop Trump, because I have a tremendous fear that Donald Trump is going to dismantle the Constitution, dismantle our rights, and that he will continue to run for office, even though he's only supposed to run twice, because he doesn't respect the law and he doesn't respect us. And as a lawyer, I am very, very, very concerned that he owns the Supreme Court. So we have to make sure that he does not hold on to the Congress in the 2026 election. So what else can you do? You can vote, and you can call your people around the country and tell them to make sure they vote. But let me be clear, there are people that may take their votes for granted, let you not have a vote to take for granted. You're going to wish you would. And I hope we wake up in 2026 and realize we have no regrets. But I have nothing better to do than to stand in the gap for black folks, for brown folks, and for America.
Thank you. And can you, and before you, we know you have to run, but can you tell our audience, what are your constituents saying to you in response to what's happened?
My constituents are like, you better keep yourself going, otherwise you're a primary. They're like, you better fight for us. You signed up to lose your house and lose your job. So they don't have any concern that people could like literally lose their homes or lose their jobs or lose their cars, because it's bigger than that. That's what they said. By the grace of God, they have a state rep who understands that. To help us do this. And at the end of the day, we're not in a time where we're getting assassinated like Dr. King or Malcolm X or Medgar Evers. We're not getting assassinated, and we are not getting lynched, and we are not getting hosed. So as long as I have breath in my belly, then I can fight, and I'm alive. I can fight. The worst thing to do is to sit on the sidelines when you remain silent. You're on the side of the oppressor, and I, for the life of me, cannot understand why rich billionaire white people are complaining about anything. Y'all run the world. What else you want? You want us back in slavery? Well, as long as I'm in this fight, I'm gonna do all I can do to stop that, and I absolutely am gonna fight for us to still have civil rights and for us to still have voting rights. So that's what I have to say. Just support us. Contribute to Texas Legislative Black Caucus. If you think I should be in Congress, contribute to my congressional campaign. My website is JolandaJones.com, and my name is not Yolanda. I got a made-up black name. My mama liked Yolanda. My daddy's name is John. She took away the Y and added a J. So it's JOLANDA, Jones.com. Support us. Support what we're doing, because we are the last bastion. It's Texas now, but hell, who knows? It could be Nevada tomorrow or whatever state. So pay attention, people. Please pay attention, because what happened in North Carolina is why we've had so many people kicked off of health care, why we got that big, horrible bill, why we got immigration problems, why they taking our Social Security that we paid into. We deserve to have Social Security after we've paid into it our whole life. How on earth can you literally cut down on our Social Security to give billionaires tax breaks? It doesn't make any sense to me. And if you think it can't get worse, it can. And one thing I will say about segregation is we understood that we were the last line of defense, and we had to support each other. We got integrated and thought they accepted us. Well, they haven't. And so we need to get back to the principles we used where black folks, where it took a village for us to be doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs and have our own schools and everything, because they are trying to put us back to a place that we worked hard to come from. And I, for one, ain't going to stand on the sideline. So let this way, we back to back. The only way they're going to get you is if I'm dead. So you ain't got to worry about me.